Hi everyone. In experimental analysis, I am going to walk through my steps for registering for CyberRat software as a student. So here's the information that came from the AI2 Incorporated company, and I will click down here and I'll enter the activation code that I've been given. And you should have your own activation code as well. All right, so now I'm going to use the same information, so it's a valid code. I'm going to create my login ID, and you should do the same. All right, so I submitted my code, and I'll follow my steps. So here I am here at the top, and I'm submitting my information. Next, I'll fill in my personal information, so I'll go ahead and do that now. You'll notice I use my Augustana email. Please do that so that we have access to the work that you do in this software. Now at this point, you should be able to see your login information. You should see Augustana University and your course, 6230, your instructor Michael Voss. And those of you that are starting in the spring of 26, you should see this information here, and you can select register. Instead of going into Augustana, I'm going to a different one that you should not go into. This is just for instructors to experience the same thing that you will. And so this is something that is set up from the AI2 company, and I'll register here. Yours will be the same process, but with Augustana. My next step will be to download the software. And so I have a MacBook, so I will go here to the Mac downloads, and here's the CyberRat, and I will follow these installation instructions as best I can. So depending on which type of computer you're using, you want to make sure that you do follow the download instructions. So let's see what happens. So I've downloaded the software. When I double clicked on it, I have a licensing agreement that I will agree to. It's opening it, and now I need to drag it to the applications folder. Okay, so I see the CyberRat software on my computer desktop. I'm opening up my applications folder, and we'll drag it. All right, so actually what I did instead was open up my downloads folder. I see that DMG here, and I'm dragging it to my applications folder. All right, so now that I can see my CyberRat is in my applications file, and I'm going to select open. And now I've opened it. So their directions are to go back to your applications folder and delete that DMG. So I'll do that now. All right, so what I want to do now with you all is to do the first assignment. This is the week 1 assignment, and this is the observation module. So I will go back to the software. I'm going to put in my user ID. So now, of course, I am no longer in the Augustana CyberRat program. I'm in the one that AI2 gave to instructors as a practice. However, you might see a message from Michael Voss, your course instructor, here if he leaves something for you. And then you can actually see your CyberRat programs. You want to follow the steps for the observation lab. All right, so the first step is to go to the colony room and select a naive rat. This is a rat that's had no training. And then the second part is to set up reinforcement rules, and we'll set it up for habituation. All right, so here's colony. I'm selecting the plus button. And here's my selection for my rat. So I want a naive rat with no training. And my rat's name is Egghead. You could give your rat your own name. And I'm adding it to the colony. So there's my Egghead. So next I'll go to Settings. And I will select Habituation. Next, I want to set up my session controls, and these are my experimental conditions. I'm going to set it up for fast simulation with video off. I'm also going to allow manual termination of session, and the session duration I want to set is for 60 minutes. All right, so here's my session control. I have it set for 60 minutes, and instead of real-time simulation, I want fast simulation with video off. Now I'm ready to run the session, so I'm going to select Experiment at the top. And so this experiment is running in fast mode. If you wanted to watch it, then you would turn on the regular run, but I'm going to let it run as is. So I'm letting it run. And then we can select the behavior that we're graphing as the session is ending. For now, I'm going to select grooming. And we'll come back and check on it as the session is ending. And just for fun, I'm going to go back to settings and switch it to real-time simulation with video on. Go back to experiment so you can actually watch. And there's your egghead, so you can watch and observe as data are being graphed for egghead. And egghead is kind of a cutie. So you can see egghead has opportunities to explore the levers and the different items that are in his area, and data will be recorded on the different behaviors that he engages in. All right, so I've been running the session with the video on. I have found that when my computer is set to actually shut down or to go to rest, it actually stops the program. So a couple of times I've had to get it started up again. So for that reason, I did not run the full hour. I stopped at about 45 minutes. Looks like 45 minutes and 30 seconds. I do want you all to plan to run your sessions for 60 minutes. All right, so come back when you are finished with that one session and follow these directions on what to do. You want to collect data on your rat's performance, and we're going to walk through the steps for doing that. You're going to also want to plan to run one more session with a different rat. You're going to set up another rat and run one more session, the very same settings, the very same environment for the rat, so that you can compare progress in the discussion. So let's take a quick peek at running the analysis. You'll go first to the behavior analysis menu and make sure you're on the behavior probabilities tab and take a screenshot. We'll do that really quickly with egghead's data. Then you want to go on that same menu to the cumulative graphs tab, and we're going to run graphs for 3 behaviors: grooming, rearing, and exploring. So let's look at that. All right, so I want to go to behavior analysis. All right, so I'm now on the behavior analysis tab, and I'm under the behavior probabilities. This is one thing you want to run a screenshot of. Then you want to come over here to cumulative graphs, and there are 3. Here's your drop-down menu. You want to have a screenshot of Exploration, take a screenshot. Groom, take a screenshot. And then rear, here's rear, take a screenshot. And remember, this is a cumulative graph. Coming back to your instructions, again, you want to do a replication with a new naive rat. Run the same exact lab one more time. And then this is your executive summary that will actually be your discussion post. You'll follow these same instructions. You'll start with an introduction, so your Catania textbook for the information that you're including. Describe your method and procedure using the information that's in this assignment. Then you're going to interpret your results. You're going to compare between subjects 1 and 2, your 2 rats. And so you'll look at the 2 bar graphs for unconditional probabilities and describe it. And then you can choose to either describe in more detail option 1 or option 2. Option 1 is one behavior between the 2 rats. You can either look at grooming for the 2 rats, rearing for the 2 rats, exploring for the 2 rats, and compare graphs. Or you can look at just one rat. For example, if I just looked at egghead and looked at the 2 behaviors in that session and see what do I, when I compare grooming to rearing or grooming to exploring, what do I see? These are some questions to answer. What do the figures illustrate? For example, is grooming a high or low rate behavior? What's your benchmark? Does it have the same rate of occurrence in each successive 10-minute interval across the hour? That's why it's really important to run each of your rat's sessions for a full 60 minutes. Does your rat have more behaviors during specific periods? And then did you anticipate this from what you've already read in your Catania book? All right, so this will be kind of fun to do. Reach out to your instructor if you have any questions.